camping out in the desert in California with one of my best friends and my guitar player in Killswitch, Adam D, who is a total like doesn't believe in any of this shit at all. So to this day, he still makes fun of me for this story, but I don't give a fuck. I'll never go back to this particular desert ever again. So it's so we've been recording. It's been a crazy schedule. I'm just exhausted. I got one more day before I fly home. He's like, hey, why don't we take the day off and let's go down to the desert? We've got this really cool patch. Me and my girl camp out at, bring the dogs, drink some whiskey, hang out, have a good time. I was like, dude, that sounds great. I'm fucking exhausted. My voice is tired. It's a nice moment to celebrate. So we get there. It's about maybe about an hour from San Diego. Ano Barrio, I think is the name of the desert. You could look it up, Ano Barrio Desert. And there's a ton of stories. If you do the research, there's a ton of crazy shit that's happened, including, which this did not happen to me, people have seen an actual life-size Viking ship with Vikings, ghost Viking ship going through the desert. Look it up online. Shit's crazy. I didn't know any of this going in, right? And I'm one of those like sixth sense kids. Like I see dead people my whole life. I've seen spirits, ghosts, demons, seen it all. And I thought I was out of the woods at this point in my life. Like really hadn't experienced much of anything. So long story short, we're camping. They decide to take the two dogs. One's a pit bull, so a very alert, protective dog. They're both very high alert dogs. They go into their trailer, the two of them, with the dogs, and go to bed. You can see the Milky Way, shooting stars. It's a gorgeous night. The fire is just a little higher than coal, so it's nice and cozy and warm. I'm enjoying myself so much. I'm like, I'm going to stay up for a while, listen to some cool tunes, and just chill out. So I start to get drowsy by the fire, and I'm like, all right, I got to go to bed. So I walk over to he's got like at the time he had like a BMW SUV, a nice car with a huge back. And we had a mattress in the back of his SUV because I don't have anything with me. I'm traveling to record. And I have my rental car, which is a convertible Mustang. So it's the Mustang, his car, my bed's in the back of his car. I crawl in, I get super tired. I've got his keys and my keys. I put them way over on the side with my cell phone. And I'm laying there looking up at the stars because the way the back trunk goes, it's all glass. So I'm laying there looking up at the stars and just start to doze off. And the trailer that they're in, it's a really nice trailer that Adam actually won on The Price is Right when he like went on The Price is Right and won everything. Look that up on
YouTube, that by the way, and it's one of the most amazing videos you'll ever see.
Yeah, he's yelling like, "Oh my god!" Like he won the entire thing. So it's his Price is Right trailer. They're sleeping in air conditioning, like fucking nice trailer. And then connected to that on a trailer hitch is his car where I'm sleeping. So just as I doze off, I feel the car go down. You know, when someone steps on the bumper, like they're joking around with you or something, It's like down. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, oh, they're walking the dogs. The dogs must have to pee, like whatever that is. So I'm just like, fuck it. I roll over. I'm like, I'm not paying attention. It happens again. And then I hear like whispering type shit. And like immediately the hairs on the back of my head, I'm like, that's not normal. What the fuck was that? I open my eyes to look up. There's nothing there. And I feel the bounce again on the trailer and my body jars. And I'm like, okay, this is not normal. What the fuck is this? So I get up, I sit up straight. I grab my cell phone, I put the light on my cell phone. I look around the car. And I'm like, nothing there, nothing there. You know, when you're in between sleep and wake and you're like, nah, that was nothing. No big deal. So I'm like, all right, talk myself out of it. Laid back down. The moment my head hit the pillow, the thing bounced again and I heard a handprint smack the back of the SUV. And I'm like, fuck that. So I jump out of the car. I grabbed an actual flashlight, put it on, looked all around, nothing. It was dead quiet. And way in the distance, it sounded like a kid laughing, like just way in the distance. And I was like, you know, when you get like the slight tears because you're fucking
scared. I swear to God, I just got them right now. I swear to God. I was going to say it's been a long time since someone's made me tear up from a scary story. I just had the same thing. So
that shit happened to me. And I'm like, oh, word. This is, and my brain's, I'm like, demons, ghosts, like I'm going through the file of things that have happened to me all my life. And nothing is to compare to this because this is really odd. And then I'm like, the pit bull, the dogs, no one's stirring in that trailer. Nothing's happening over there. I'm like, is this all in my head? Am I losing my fucking mind? So I'm walking around the campsite with a flashlight, looking. This is the part I usually leave out because people think I'm crazy. But so I shine the flashlight at a certain point in the desert, and there's like brush. In California, there's a lot of brush and weird bushes. I see this thing, maybe the size of like a troll-ish, and I see like a furry butt and small legs crawling through the undergrowth quickly. And as soon as I see that, when my flashlight hits it, it's gone. And way in the distance that way, I hear laughter. So I'm all fucked up. And I'm literally sitting there like talking myself off the cliff. It's that moment of panic of like flight or fright, fight or flight response. And I'm so ready to leave. But then I'm like, I got to pull my shit together. This is nothing. I'm like, it might have been like a pack of dogs. Like, when you start to rationalize, it's coyote, it's whatever the fuck. So I'm like, I'm going to go back, I'm going to lay down, and I'm just going to go to sleep. Fuck that. This is nothing. And they haven't woken up. So I go to lay back down. And as soon as I hit the pillow again, my car alarm on my Mustang across the way goes off.
Just get goosebumps.
And I'm like, the keys are like way, like I'm not touching them. They're way over there in the car. So I go to grab them. As soon as I go to grab them, the alarm in the car that I'm in goes off. And then I feel that sound of door handles being like pulled, like they're trying to get in, and like banging, hands banging, like on the side of the car on both sides, going around in the circle. Bang, 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 bang. So it's like you'd see in a fucking movie. So the car's bouncing, people are banging, the car alarms are going off. So I grab both car alarm keys, I shut mine off, I come out, and I'm like, what? Where are you? Like, just at that point where you're just screaming because you're so fucking scared. And everything went dead quiet. No footprints around. No nothing. Way in the distance, I hear laughter. I'm like, done. I'm fucking done. I get into my Mustang. I turn it on. I put the high beams on. I spin out of there, and I start driving around the entire area with my high beams on, like trying to find what the fuck this is. I come back. I have a moment of like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've never been that scared. I've been pretty scared in my life, but that was a moment of like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I grab my shit. I get in the Mustang, and I haul ass out of there. I drove probably about 50 miles away. I found a Days Inn in some random ass town. I got there at like 4:30 in the morning. I managed to catch a quick nap. I get a text from Adam at like 7:30. I guess he went out to let the dogs out and pee. And he's like, dude, what the fuck? Where the fuck are you? What the hell happened? What's the deal?
He didn't hear any of it.
None of it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because the alarms went off. Like, they had to have heard that.
No, the dogs, pit bull, mind you. My woman's a fucking very protective pit bull. Nothing. And then his girl was like, oh, I remember someone jiggling the handle of our trailer, though. I was like, that wasn't me. I didn't fucking touch the trailer. She goes, I do remember someone jiggling the handle of our trailer. I was like, that wasn't me. So long story short, I had to go back to that site because his car wouldn't start. Out of nowhere, his car's dead. Nice BMW, SUV. It wouldn't start. They're in the desert. And at this time, when I got there, it was 11:30. It was already 100-something degrees. The dogs were panting. They had nowhere to go because the electricity in the trailer, they had no refuge. This thing was mad hot. So I got there. We all cuddled into my Mustang and turned the AC on and waited for 3.5 hours for the tow truck to come. And I recalled the story. And of course, the two of them were just like laughing and like, you're fucking crazy. And Adam calls me Uncle. It's my nickname in the band. He's like, Unc, how much acid did you take last night? Like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I wasn't on fucking acid. I wasn't doing any of that shit. And I was so affected by it. For months later, he'd bring it up and I would go into like PTSD on a tour bus. He'd be like, Uncle's fucking crazy. He says this, he says that. To this day, that's one of the scariest things. Oh, and I will add this. So after the fact, I did my research because anytime something happens to me, I'm like, what the fuck?
This was going to be my first question.
that desert is literally haunted. So I mentioned the Viking ship, which you can look that up. And then there's something they call the Wolf Children there. So this is a fair, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like, fuck my life. Of course, I'm the one guy that's like gonna. So apparently there's these things they call the Wolf Children, and some say they're baby Sasquatch, some say they're little demon children. So that little furry butt thing I saw and then the laughter that I heard, that's documented as well. So there's been eyewitnesses that have heard these noises, had pranks pulled on them, like people missing food, like it runs the gamut of experiences that people have had in this desert. And I just happened to be fucked with by whatever the wolf children were, I guess. But I didn't see anything except for the little scurrying away, which, I mean, in retrospect, I was scared it could have been like a coyote or a dog. I don't know. But it looked like a little human butt to me.